Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to talk about some knives that are going to be available soon, whether a pre-order or a drop. I think it's important to know when these things are happening so that you can be prepared, right? Three of these are pretty budget knives, and one of them is more premium. I'm very excited for all of them, to be honest, and I want you guys to be informed, obviously. So that is why we are here today. So let's start with the Asher knives, okay? So we have these two here. This is the Asher with hole Spiro. I think he just calls it the Spiro. I don't know if he's posted a name for it. I call it the hole Spiro. W/hole with hole Spiro. Because it's a Spiro with a hole. Get it? And he already has a Spiro frame lock that has studs. He has a Spiro liner lock. So just thought it was kind of funny. And when I think I'm funny, I go full on. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, this knife is awesome, guys. It's going to be around $100, maybe 105 bones. S35 VN steel, flat grind, super thin knife here. And it's going to be made by Kunwu Knives, which is a very good OEM at a affordable price range. So you guys may know they just released the X Tau. They had the Tau last year that dropped in M390 for $134. Titanium M390 Damascus pivot collar. Now, that was them making it, so there's a difference there. This is an OEM project, but even then, Titanium and S35 VN for right around $100. I think that's an incredible deal. You have a lock bar insert, of course. You have a ceramic detent ball, of course. You have a backspacer here with the lanyard post. You have a reversible clip, which is very important to me. And look how nice it looks with that filler tab. I mean, he killed it with that. I think it doesn't take away from the looks at all. It maybe just looks like an extra body screw, but it gives lefties a chance to carry the knife, and I think that's very important. Now, I have it set up for right-hand carry because when I reverse flick it, I like to just ride the clip and fire it out. But you can also just lean over and flick it, or you can hit the pivot up here. And I'm sure if the clip was reversed, you could probably still climb down here to flick it. But the lock bar pressure is a thing on this knife if you're left-handed. Keep that in mind, all right? But the ergonomics are fantastic. It's super slim, thin and slicey as well. Just feels really good in hand, guys. You have nice jimping back here. I would like to see it more forward, but you don't really need jimping. That's the thing, right? Now, you don't have a choil of any kind. You can kind of climb up here if you want to, but I would just stay back in this grip or go into some kind of a pinch grip. You have a spear point, drop point blade, which is fine with me. You guys know I like sheep's foot blades for a low tip, but a drop point is acceptable to me. I like the whole design. It's easy to reverse flick if you're not on the lock bar. Here it is right-handed. The detent, guys, is dialed perfectly. So if you guys saw my prototype videos, I kind of harped a little bit on the detent being a little light, and he went ahead and updated that, so you got a nice, snappy detent. Really, really snappy, guys. And that's what I really like about it. Now, that is why left-handed, it's a little bit more of a frame lock pressure issue than it was on the prototype, because on the prototype it had a lighter detent, so I could just flick it. But on this, it's a little stronger, so you got to get down on that clip. I'll take that trade-off all day. Super thin grind, excellent stonewash, excellent bead blast on the titanium scales. I'm assuming steel hardware is also sort of blasted in a way. Just an excellent knife, guys. The lock bar access, you don't have a ton of it here, but it's easy to get in there. I mean, I haven't really had an issue disengaging. I just kind of go in, push it over. It's not a stiff lock bar in any way, so it works really well. You have the right hand thumb flick. You have the right hand reverse flick. You have the right hand, see if I can do it without touching the lock bar. It's the hard part. Slow roll. I'm sure if you're right-handed, you'll be better at that. Left hand, slow roll, left hand, reverse flick, and left hand flick. It's a little harder because I'm on the lock bar and then pushing, so I'm kind of locking it up and then trying to flick it. So if I stay off the lock bar, there we go. Yeah, just really good, guys. He moved the logo to the pivot, which is perfect. It was on the blade. I think this is absolutely fantastic. Dead nut center, just excellent example of a knife. I do want to mention this knife was provided to me by Justin from Asher Knife Co. He basically gives me a sample of every knife so I can review it and give my feedback, and then I always send them around to other people to check out. And of course, I have the code LeftyEDC on his website. If you go to asherknives.com, you can use my code LeftyEDC. You'll get 10% off your order. I don't make any commission off of that, and getting the samples is basically, you know, my payment for sending people over there to use the code. But if you want to take everything I say with a grain of salt, feel free. Would I buy this knife with my own money? Yes, 100%. The thing I love about it is that Justin has just evolved, right? If you take a look at the original prototype of this knife, this is the Spiro liner lock prototype. The first time I ever saw the Spiro design, right? It was a liner lock. I mean, it had thumb studs. I mean, this thing has a little bit of detent lash and some other issues. Now, of course, it was dialed in for the production run. It had contoured scales, black G10 with a jade backspacer. Just, it was really dialed in. But this is the original Spiro, guys. I mean, it's been through an evolution, right? It had this, then the actual production version, then there's titanium ones, or maybe even steel ones, titanium ones, all with thumb studs. Then we had the flipper come out. That's a prototype of the flipper. Then we had the flipper production version. I mean, look at this. The flipper production version. And then now we have the whole Spiro. And you can just see the evolution. He is always making his designs better. He's not afraid to take feedback. He's not afraid to make changes to things. I really, really appreciate that in a designer, because there's just too many people out there that are either resting on their laurels, or they're just like too close-minded or defensive, if that makes sense, when it comes to their designs. That if you say one little thing is, you know, needs updating, they get all, you know, upset about it. He's like, yeah, that'll make the knife better. Let me do that, right? So this knife just came out so good. It's so thin. This is going to, guys, this is going to be one of the best EDC knives you can get this year. And then to top it all off, it's $100. Like, I've compared this, and bear with me, I've compared this to the Oz Roosevelt, guys. I actually posted a video about this in the group, and I got shamed real quick, so I took it down. I was just trying to tell people that if you're in the Oz group, if you're somebody who wants this knife, but A, you just don't have the money, right? Or you have the money, but you don't have the budget to spend on a knife, right? You know what I mean? Because some people have money, they just don't want to spend $800, $1,500 on a knife. I get that, right? This has a lot of similarities in terms of thinness, in terms of overall sort of aesthetic and design. Of course, the choil isn't here on this, but it has that feel, right? It really has that rosy feel to me. This is a huge compliment to the Asher knife, and not at all a negative on the Rosie. The Rosie is probably my favorite knife. I'm just saying that's how good this is. So if you've always wanted a Rosie, but one, you don't have the money, you don't want to spend the money, or you just can't get one because they're so damn hard to get or so expensive, get one of these and give it a shot and see what you think. And you know what? If you fall in love with this knife, then you can go full pimp and get the Rosie, right? This is like a pimped out Spiro. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's a compliment to both of these guys, right? So yeah, absolutely love the whole Spiro. Next, we have the Douglas. This one's also an Asher knife, okay? So let me back up a second. These are both going to be available in May. I don't have an exact date, but mid-May, I think, is around the time these are going to drop. And they will drop. They will not be pre-orders of any kind. You can just go to the website and order them. Don't forget to use the code LeftyEDC. So this is the Douglas, guys. And if you saw the unboxing, I fell in love with this knife. just such a fantastic design. I mean, like I said, Justin is just, I don't know. There's just something about him. He improves himself, his designs. And, you know, you can look at some of the knives he's done before, like the Picket and the Flashback, and I see those designs in this a little bit. But it's like he said, you know what, I'm going to beef it up a little bit. I'm going to make it a little more premium. I'm going to change this and that. And boom, you got an absolute banger, guys. I don't know the price on this one. I can tell you it's probably under $100. It might be right around that. Could be a little less. I could see this being like 85 bucks from him. It's in S35 VN steel again, but I think, I can't remember if he changed it to 14C or not. He was thinking about it. But if this is a production sample, then it should be S35. I think it's S35. Anyway, the price will change if that is the case. But anyway, you have this green micarta. I've never seen this micarta before, but it's actually really good in hand. It feels great. This is also OEM by Kunwu. This one you can see has the logo right there on the blade. So I don't know if, you know, maybe that's not possible to put it right here on this one, or I don't know. Maybe this is a prototype, but I swear he told me this was coming at the same time. So the micarta is comfortable. It's a steel liner lock. Excellent, excellent lockup. Excellent action. Just feels really good. It's one of those liner locks that just slides out of the way. It doesn't have a ton of pressure on it, yet the D10 is dialed so well. Reverse flick, lefty, thumb flick, lefty. You have this fuller right here, so you can reverse flick it off the fuller. Down here if you like, wherever you want. Just go at it. You can use your ring finger, flick it out. It's just so good, guys. You have this perfect spot to grip the knife right here. Boom. You have a sort of choil area right here. You can climb up. Boom. It's comfortable in both. It's a little bit of a thicker knife. I mean, if you compare it to the whole Spiro here, you'll see that. This is a really thin knife. So this is more average, if you know what I mean. I wouldn't say it's thick. It's just an average thickness knife. Man, the D10 is so good. And it's just getting better and better. Both of these are just getting better and better. When I unboxed them, neither of them were like droppy really, but this thing is getting there, and this thing is also getting there. Just really cool. They're breaking in nice. These are just excellent knives, guys. I love the blade shape on this one because it kind of looks like a clip point, which I always hate on clip points, right? But it's not the blade shape that bothers me. I love the aesthetic of a clip point, right? It's the functionality of the raised up tip. But the way he designed this one, it's almost like the tip is still coming down when you get to the tip right there. It's almost like a drop point in that sense. It doesn't swoop up like a clip point. For example, I have here my Jack Wolf Knives Sharpshooter Jack. This is in a Northwoods Leatherworks Co. slip. If you're interested, you can get one of these for $35 in high quality Pueblo or Horween leather, shipped to your door for 35 bucks. Just let them know Lefty sent you. Northwoods Leatherworks Co. But this is what I'm talking about. You see how, even though the tip on this seems like it's lower down on this knife than that one, you see how there's all this belly and then it swoops up to the tip, and the tip is kind of raised and pointing up this way. So when you go to use that tip, what do you got to do? You got to go all the way up to here just to penetrate with the tip. Sometimes I just flip it over, which doesn't work well on this one, by the way. The tip just doesn't cut when you do that. But absolutely fantastic knives, guys. Jack Wolf Sharpshooter Jack. The new one is coming out, the laid back Jack. Keep an eye out for the laid back Pickle Jack. Can't wait to get that one in the fat carbon. But anyway, this tip kind of comes down. It doesn't have that belly and then swoop up, right? It's kind of like the belly's here and then it's just straight out, and it kind of just comes out to a tip. So when you go to use it, boom, I'm right into that tip already, right here. I don't have to go all the way up here. I can go shloop, just like that. I mean, here's a drop point. Let's see. On this drop point, how high do I have to go? Right there. I have to go right there to get to that tip on this drop point, right? Where am I at? Right here. So on this guy, boom, It's lower. It's lower than it is on this drop point because belly up to tip, right? So it's almost like it's not even a clip point. It's not, maybe it's a spear point. I don't know, but it just looks like a traditional clip point or a Bowie. And I think that's awesome because you get the aesthetic without the downside, you know? So absolutely fantastic knife. This is the Douglas, guys. I'm really excited to see how this one does because it's a new design, you know? And I love to see his new designs out there. I love the name, the Douglas. It's just classic. Must be his dog's name or something. But yeah. So those are the Asher knives, guys. Keep an eye out mid-May on AsherKnives.com. Use code LeftyEDC. Hit me up if you have any questions. I really love these knives. Then let's talk about EMP EDC. So you guys know I absolutely love the Nymble. So I have this guy here. That's my production run 2 Nymble prototype. This is my production run 1 Nymble I got on pre-order. And then I actually have the Nymble X in right now again in the sheep's foot version, right? So these are all frag. And what's cool is this guy is in honeycomb. So he's doing a run in honeycomb and Tanto. Now he's still going to have the frag. So your options for the pre-order, which is on May 14th, guys, is honeycomb or frag. And then you can get this version basically, except it has bronze accents instead of black. No, you can get a Mokutai kit. But anyway, bronze accents with this colored scale and blade. I believe it is a satin. You can get this version in stonewash in honeycomb or frag. Same with this. And then they have an all murdered out one in honeycomb or frag. So those are your 6 options. I will say I love the look of the honeycomb, and it really makes me want to get the honeycomb. I do have a couple of downsides to the honeycomb personally, and it's a little bit sharp around the edges. Now, that's just going to be the nature of the beast when you're milling a honeycomb pattern into something, right? You're going to have corners. I mean, I guess they could knock them down more, but you just have those edges. It's just how it's going to be. The frag is much smoother, right? Where on this, you're milling an indention. This is kind of milling where it's sticking up, if that makes sense. It's not, but you get my point. The other downside to me is you're just going to have a rough spot on the clip. Now, this one's a little bit tighter than the other prototypes because I told him this one felt a little tight, and he said the other ones are fine. But you can see like where it's going to land is right into a honeycomb there. So, you know, it's going to be a little bit tougher to get in pocket than this. It's going to grab your pants a little more, right? Will it be an issue? I don't think so. But personally, that's making me gravitate towards wanting the frag on this run, even though I really want the honeycomb Tanto. So I may just get one of each just to be safe. But the honeycomb is absolutely the more good-looking one, in my opinion, just because I have so much of the frag already, right? This one's not mine, but... So yeah, this is going to be on May 14th, guys. Check out this Tanto compound grind. Like, just going to be sick. The only thing that can make this better if it was a hollow grind back here, right? But it's the Nymble you know and love, the same size, the same slot, the same action, you know, the same flipper tabs and hole. All of it's the same. It just looks a little beefier right here. Got some Medford to it right there, in my opinion. And it's a beast. It just looks fantastic. And I cannot wait to get myself a Nymble Tanto, guys. So there's the lineup that I have in currently. I do have a liner lock en route prototype to check out. So I'll probably do a video of all the Nymble versions that I have in at the time, but we'll see if that happens. So that is the EMP EDC Nymble Tanto, guys. Do not forget May 14th for this guy, and I believe it's going to be 1 p.m. Eastern, just like usual, 10 a.m. Pacific. And I did not get a chance to check the price, but I'm going to guess it's around $289, $299, something like that for the Tanto pre-order. And the cool thing is he is now giving you a discount on the pre-order. I believe he always did that, but it's a little bit deeper this time. Like, for example, the Nymble X, the 3.5 version, this was $299 on pre-order. When they come in, the drop is going to be $350. $50. So you're getting a pretty hefty discount on that guy. And this one as well, probably. And another note, these are halfway through production already. So it's going to be a pretty short pre-order. I love that he's doing that. And as soon as we can afford to do that with Devo knives, we will be doing the same thing to keep pre-order times down. So EMP EDC Nymble Tanto. Last but 100% not least, the Bridgeport Knife Company 395. Guys, I am absolutely blown away by this prototype right here. The guy who designed this is 19 years old. That is absolutely just insanity to me, guys. I have just started a knife company with Colin. I am 33 years old, and I just got the balls to try to do something myself, right? This kid is 19, and he's got freaking brass balls. That's all I can say. This is going to be a hollow grind. Right now it's flat. It's going to stay this beautiful sheep's foot blade. You can see I've been using it. It's got a beautiful slot. You have titanium scales on a steel liner lock. This is in D2. It's a prototype, but the production run is going to be in 14C 28N. It's going to be right around $118, but there's going to be discount codes for 10% off, I believe. The pre-order is going to be in early June, so keep your calendars marked, guys. It's probably going to be a week before or a week after Blade Show. It does have a reversible clip, which is awesome for a liner lock to have. I believe he's going to add a filler tab here. We talked about the clip today. I believe he's going to try to add a little more tension because once it gets in your pocket, it's a little bit loosey-goosey in there because there's just not a lot of, spring on this clip. So that's something he's going to work on. The detent is absolutely perfect. It is tuned so well. Guys, it feels so good. You can flick it from the top if you want a stronger detent. If you want a little softer, you just flick it from the bottom right there. You can get your ring finger in there if you want. The ergonomics are utterly fantastic. Just fits my hand like a glove back here. And then you have this sort of choil right here that it doesn't look like it would work so well. But, guys, it is absolutely melt in my hand comfortable like this. He's got the thickness down. He's got the size down for my large glove size hand. He's got the blade shape down. I mean, it's just perfect. He's got that little subtle curve to the knife down. It's just great. I cut some shipping labels with this today. Boom, tip. No problem. Went through like 4 or 5 sheets without blinking. I'm in love, guys. I already told him I'm going to buy 2. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy 2. And I'm going to be sending this guy around to some other channels. I believe it's going to Alex 814 EDC next. And then it'll be off to Neves Knives. If you want to see Neves put this thing through its paces. The lock bar access, guys, is absolutely phenomenal. That's one thing you just got to give him credit for. More is better sometimes, you know what I mean? And this is one of those cases. You have so much access in there. There's just no missing it, you know what I mean? And it does not take away from anything. Now, I guess I'm left-handed, so I don't know if it would feel different in a right hand because you have the cutout. I guess you can feel it a little bit, but it's not like, it doesn't seem awkward or anything. Yeah. I'm just blown away by this, guys. This and those Ashers, it's just going to be an epic year for budget knives. I mean, are you kidding me? Yeah. So this is going to be early June, guys. The Bridgeport Knife Company 395. Super excited about it. So early June pre-order. Keep your eyes out. So we got that guy. We got the Asher knives. Whole Spiro. We got the Asher knives, Douglas, and we got the EMP EDC Nymble Tanto, all coming very soon to an internet near you. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of these 4 in the comments. Are you going to pick up one or all 4? Because you could spend about, what do you got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 600 bones, and you could get them all. That's 4 sick knives for 600 bones, guys. I mean, you could go top 3 and spend probably a little under 300 maybe and get all 3 of these badass suckers, or you could just spend the 300 and get the Nymble and go balls to the wall. You know me, I'm gonna get them all. So that's just how it is. And I hope you guys get one if you want one. I wish you luck if you are trying to get one on a pre-order and there's a limited number. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.